Now, after months of deadline extensions of the NIN SIM linkage exercise, the federal government has finally ordered telecom operators to bar outgoing calls on all unlinked subscribers' identification model SIM cards in the country. This means that outgoing calls will subsequently be barred for telephone lines that have not complied with the NIN SIM linkage policy with effect from the 4th of April 2022. It will be recalled that the deadline handed Nigerians to link their NIN to their SIMs ended on March 31st after about 8 times of postponing it. According to data from the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, more than 125 million SIMs have their linkage NIN submitted for linkage, verification and authentication as of date, while the NIMC has issued over 78 million unique NINs. Now, let's talk more about this and know how it affects the industry in totality. Joining me again via Zoom is the chairman of the Association of Licensed Telecom Operators of Nigeria, Mr. Benga Adebayo. Good afternoon, Mr. Adebayo. Thank you for your time.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me.
Yes, interesting times here. After lots and lots of postponement, finally, the big hammer. Government says telcos should bar outgoing calls for those that have not linked their NIN to their SIMs. Tell us, how did it come to operators like you, and what's your reaction to this development in the first place?
We have been on it since December of 2020. Our government had given directive that we should disconnect all lines not associated with NIN by 20th of December 2020. We sought various extensions from government, and it's been pushed forward and forward. Till now, we've had a total of 8 extensions. And by the end of March, government had said no more extension. We should just go ahead and disconnect anyone who hasn't provided their NIN to integrate with their SIM card. Consequently, services to those who don't have their NIN yet integrated with their SIM has been disabled from outgoing calls. We hope that people will comply with this directive going forward so that we can have normalcy back to services.
Yes, that's where the human angle thing comes in. People say that it is still very cumbersome to get this done. That's the argument everywhere. They say some have even submitted, and there are network issues and all of that they can't just get through. I don't know if you're hearing this.
It's all in our style as a people. We are used to last minute. I must say that before December of 2020, NIMC had been on this for 4 years. In essence, the Identity Management Commission has tried to do TTC's capture over a period of 4 years before the directive was given in December that if NIN are not integrated with SIM card, operators should disconnect. Then they occurred to people that really and truly government is serious about this. So I think over a period of 14 months, we seem to have had enough window of time to have this process completed. Now, on the issue of whether systems are slow, systems are delaying and all, if people had embraced it rightly and on time, we should not have the kind of crowd we've had at our experience centers in the last 2 days. But it is what it is. We can only appeal to people to continue to do what they can to ensure that those numbers are obtained and is integrated with their SIM record. Unfortunately, we will not be able to do anything for anyone without providing the NIN record to be integrated with their SIM records with us.
One of the major aims of this is to control insecurity, of course, extortions and abductions. And some are referring to what happened at the Kaduna train issue and all of this, that some still use their mobile phones. I don't know if you can give us some clarity with regards to this. And do you think this can really help address this ugly trend of insecurity, if properly done?
Ideally, we shouldn't be in a country like we are in without a reliable national database. It has come to a point where, as a people, we should have at least credible and reliable national database that will have addresses and registers of all persons who are from here and who live here. So really and truly, even if it's for reasons of numerical count, we should at least have a reliable database. And I think this is one of the reasons why our government decided to come up with this policy of NIMC. NIMC is the only identity management agency that is authorized for citizens' identity management. And the law establishing NIMC mandates that all Nigerians, irrespective of what we do, of certain age, and all visitors to Nigeria, residents of Nigeria, legal residents of Nigeria, must have an NIN number. That's one. Number two, security is another part of it. Government has said to us that if we have this record, it will help security agencies. Unfortunately, on insecurity, we seem to talk more about the incidents than the successes. We do not remember that there has been many failed attempts by security agencies, for which we must commend them. But when we have one incident, it's widely reported, unfortunately so. But really and truly, we are of the view that since it's a call to service, government wants this done, we should support government in having that to happen. We should do our part as a people, and then we should leave the rest to government. It's easy to sit in our comfort zone and complain that we can't go and do this, we can't go and do that. But we should look at the greater good. For reasons of that, I think everyone should actually embrace this process.
Staying with security, I'm also seeing that Alton has the capacity to trace alongside with the numbers and the geolocation of any number. Maybe they're trying to trace a number. Can you let us understand a little of this process? I know security issues are very, very technical, but can you just let us understand how you can come in if anything happens?
In the best way possible, we are supporting security agencies. Again, you rightly said it's a matter of national security. It's not something that one can talk openly on national television. But we're providing all that we can in terms of support for security agencies. And rightly so, we are really helping in the ways that we can. Within the limits of resources and information available to us, we are doing all that we should in supporting them.
So now, what would you agree with me that this barring all of these lines would have a little bit of negative effect? Because some people run their businesses with their phones. That's also one angle to it.
Well, you see, there can't be gains without pains, and part of the pains that we have to go through to have what we call a reliable national credible database is the pains of the moment. Other than that, we have the attitude of not doing things to the last minute as a people. The greater good of this is to the benefit of everyone, because until you are a victim, you will not know what it is, not to be able to identify whoever may have done something wrong to you. Yeah. The telephone is very important identity, it's a very important means of contact, and we believe, really and truly, for us to have the kind of reliable information that we require to support everyone, both in terms of commerce and in terms of safety and security, we need to have reliable and then traceable information about people. So at this time, we need to just do what we can to support government to make this happen. We are not looking at the numbers in terms of economic cost to us. We are only looking at the greater good in terms of a social benefit, social opportunity, social responsibility that we have to the people, responsibility that we have to government as responsible corporate citizens, and we are doing all that we can to support everyone in this regard. We are concerned about what we see at various experience centers. We are concerned about the crowd. We are concerned about the crowd management. And we can only appeal to people to please take their turn, take their time, follow instructions, do what they can, quietly and patiently so, to have their numbers obtained and to have it integrated with their SIM record. The good thing about it is that once you have the main record, you don't have to visit any experience center to have it integrated to your database. You can follow any of the online links that have been provided, and with this you can do that in the comfort of your home. So the work really is in going to the enrollment center to be enrolled and to have your NIN obtained from the Identity Commission.
Well, let's talk briefly before I let you go about other issues affecting your operations, and that's a hike in the price of diesel. I read a press statement from you when that popped up, and you talked about how this is affecting businesses. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, as it is in any other business, with this current numbers, current indices of the economy, we are greatly impacted by high cost of energy. As you may know, a number of our sites across the country are powered on diesel fuel. So this has had significant impact in the cost of doing business. So we are engaging all stakeholders. We're engaging government. We're also talking to ourselves to see how best it is that we can mitigate this. We assure the public that we will continue to provide services on continuous basis. There will be disruption to services. We are not aiming for price review, for upward review of prices. We are only looking at how can we have an industry that is healthy and that can be sustainable for the greater good of all. So that's what we are doing. We are concerned about the dynamics of the economy at this time. We are concerned about high cost of doing business. But like it is in any other sector, we are also engaging government to see the sustainability of the industry.
Very, very interested. Now, we've seen the sector do very well, looking at figures that we've had, IT, telecommunications, and all of that. With all of this, even the global issues, what are you thinking about projections that are already on ground? Do you think anything will change?
But things will get better as technology evolve. We're now talking about the fifth generation. So as technology evolve, there will be more applications introduced on the networks. We think that there will be more optimization on the resources that we have across our various networks. And we think that at the end of the day, it is the consumers that will actually benefit from this. To go back to the issue on ground, I think to continue to enjoy uninterrupted telecom services, people should try at this time to have their name integrated with their SIM records. And with that, we will not have the current tension that we have across the various network operating sites.
So now almost finally, again, I was just looking at challenges too with regards to calls. We've been getting information. Even today, many has already sent when they saw that you're going to be on the show asking that what is happening with network providers and service providers. What more should we be expecting? Better service delivery as we move on in the year?
Well, yes, but there are certain variables that is not in our control. And that's, you may have read in our comment last week about the challenge we have in Kogi State and also in part of the FCT, Abuja, where we have actions of government of Kogi affecting operations in Kogi due to issues of revenue collection from network operators. The number of sites that has been closed by Kogi State Revenue Agency is having an impact on quality of service in Kogi, and we are worried that it may impact on a few other states around Kogi, including the FCT. Also in FCT, we have problems that we're unable to deploy capacity due to non-granting of approval by appropriate authorities at the FCDA. We hope that if we have the intervention of government at the highest level, things will get better, because the net effect of this in those neighborhoods is that it has impact on the entire national network. And the earlier we're able to address our mind to the fact that telecommunication is actually a socio-economic service. It's not supposed to be an extractive industry where people collect money or people really intend to raise money for IGR. If we look at the role that we play in developing the economy, I think the more we are able to support the service providers, the better for us on a larger scale.
So finally, I'd like to know, do you foresee any postponement with all of the comments and all coming from all angles saying there should be another extension? Some even say for as much as another 3 months.
No, I don't foresee any because we've been on it for 14 months. And now there is a call to action. I can only appeal to people to continue to go and obtain their NIN and have it integrated with their SIM cards. We don't foresee any extension of time. We are working with government. We are doing all that we can to make the process easy and better for everyone. But we also need the cooperation and understanding of the general public. We should stop apportioning blame. Government has said, let's do this, let's play our part as a people, and let's challenge governments to do what is needful after we have done our own part. So I don't think there will be any further extension. We are not expecting the lifting of the ban. Our services that have now been disabled from outgoing calls will not have services restored to them until we have their name integrated with their SIM record. It is what it is at this time. We can only appeal to the public to please try and follow government directives in this regard.
I must thank you so very much, Engineer Gbenga Adebayo, who is the chairman of the Association of Licensed Telecom Operators of Nigeria. Thank you for your time on the show today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.